and then what do you got here for key? Because obviously that's a big component of your sound, so you have to have something to represent the synth.
Korg monologue, like basically I want to travel. When I do a solo show, I want to be able to travel with everything on carry-on.
Yeah.
Because I did a show, my first ever tour I did, I went to Paris, and I was carrying a Moog little fatty with me. It was so stupid. And I got screwed over, they wouldn't release my bag, so I had to I had a little USB keyboard. And luckily I could run that off GarageBand. So after that I was like, whatever I get, it has to be small. And I had like a micro Korg, and the keys are too small. And these things came out, and like every tour I finish, I'm like, I put a post up like, these are so rad. They're like $200, and they're analog, and they sound fine. I mean, I just use it as a lead synth, just to shred on. So
can we hear a little bit of shredding?
Oh, no, they were turned off.
Okay.
But it sounds good. It looks good. it fits in a carry-on. So.
And it obviously is not too precious to not have duct tape on it.
No, that's.
I see on the underside there's duct
Yeah.
tape.
If I start doing this or the subs, it's fallen off a few times. So our power supply just broke tonight, so it takes 6 AA batteries, which is amazing.
That is great.
But yeah, just I mean, I'm not super fussy. Like I just want to make the tour rig as simple as possible.
Yeah.
Like my pedals, obviously.
Yeah, which is funny because, like, you know, alluding to the Korg taking the place of so much stuff that you use probably in the studio, I mentioned off camera that the Prophet 6 is part of your sound. So is there anything else that you can mention off the top of your head that you use that people might be familiar?
Oh yeah,
I mean, your stuff on Spotify.
I was really lucky during the GFC. The Australian government gave every citizen $700, and everyone else's economy in the world tanked except for ours.
Yeah.
And so then our dollar, which is usually just what do we call it? The Pacific peso, was at parity with the US dollar. So I bought off Perfect Circuit Audio when they were still like a small kind of shop. I bought like an Oberheim OB8, Prophet 6. After what else did I get from them? Maybe that's it. And then Prince came to Sydney, and I was like, I have to source an LM1 because I already had a Lindrum that I bought from Japan. I joined the Yahoo Group's Lindrum LM1 owners forum, and I was like, just put a post, and within like an hour, 3 people were like, yeah, I'll sell you mine.
Wow.
Like, but then when it came, like, here's my money, they're like, oh, actually, I won't. So the guy I bought mine off, I sent him all my music and my clips. I'm like, look, I'm going to use it every day. And I think this guy owned it and, like, you know, pour himself a glass of scotch once a month and play, like, you know, all the Prince. Yeah, play all the, because I had all the Prince patches in there.
Yeah.
That Bruce Forrett would have put in. So he's like, okay, there's a few other people that want it, you can get it. And I think I got it for like 4,000 Australian, and now they're like 50,000 Australian on Reverb or something. So
that reminds me of like when I tried to buy a house here in Nashville, and me and my wife would write down like a letter like, hey, we're looking to start a family, trying to like tug at the heartstrings, and you're like, hey man, I'm going to use it. Like, it's not going to sit and collect dust. Don't worry, I'm going to play it.
That's how I get gear. When there's like those stubborn old guys that like, they're like, oh no, you know, it's collector's item. I'm like, hey man, instruments are meant to be played. So I usually move on stuff that I don't play. Like if 2 years go by and I haven't played, I'm like, all right, it's time for it to go. So I've let go of some really nice. There's a few I've regretted, but they've gone to good homes and they need to be played. Like all my axes are always sitting out on the stand, and I'm always picking them up and playing them. So if something's sitting there and not getting used, it's, you know, it needs to go to someone who's going to appreciate it. So, but that's my little secret trick of like, hey man, you know, I'll treat it with respect. You know, it'll be on all my records, like, and it works 9 out of 10 times.
There you go. There's your guy. There's a tip from Donny B. Now let's move on to your pedal board. What do you got at your feet here?
I've got my Boss TU3 that says Don's Tuner.
Yeah.
Because I've got to stay in tune. I can't find a good chorus. I've got a Boss. I had a Boss bass chorus, which kind of sucked. Then I had an old C3, I think, which was. It's just hard to find a good bass chorus because it gets so thin. I've got a Dimension C, which it's kind of working at the moment. I think I bought this for my keyboard player. I mean, I only use it for like just like little melodic lines.
So very specific parts without.
Yeah, like I need to find if anyone can help me out with a good bass chorus.
Yeah.
I need something that has body because like you just lose it so much. But and then the OC2. I used to have the DODs, which were my favorite.
Yeah.
But my childhood one died. I got another one. It was faulty. this is cool, and I just use this for a lot of doubling. So. So just a little color, and there's a nice.
It'd be hard to take that off. That's because it's not overbearing. It's
no. I mean, it's for another song. I've only got one octave going because you got to. I'm careful not to fight it out too much.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot more noticeable.
Yeah, so that's you can get away with it if you back it off a bit, but yeah, that's kind of don't really use. I mean, it's without sounding like a wanker, like the tone is all in here. So
Yeah.
I'm really into. Ooh,
Surprised you don't like a compressor pedal.
I hate compression.
Really?
Yeah, I'd whenever if I have it in my wedge, I'm like, oh man, because I like all the subtlety. Like my pick's gone, but I do lots of. So I'll get varying degrees of, where you put the pick.
Yeah.
Like the Steve Swallow thing. And then, and then of course, so there's like, I mean, it's not rocket science, but 3 different sounds, 3 different positions. That's kind of enough for me. Like, I think putting anything else in there, I even find it like distracting enough, like doing that.
And you're singing.
That is all, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's a task in itself.
Singing and tour managing and thinking about that while I'm singing. It's too much. But it's I just try and keep everything as simple as possible, and like enjoy playing and like the singing and bass playing parts.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy enough in itself, but yeah, I mean, I wish I didn't have to sing, but I'm the person.
Yeah, you kind of fell into the singing based on kind of like how that experiment started, right?
Yeah, and I'm not a great singer, but I'm a good bass player, so that makes up for it.